She wasn't irritated by the questions about her job, just by Drew. Forcing a smile, Chelsea explained the process to him, just like she'd explained to dozens of people over the years. Basically, on average, it is a 2-to-1 ratio. So if it's a 10-hour book, it takes around 20 hours to narrate it. Remember, that includes errors, swallows, background sounds, stopping, starting, etc. So it is for sure a marathon to perform. Thankfully, he didn't interrupt and seemed to be genuinely interested in what she was saying. Once she was done, she figured he'd move on and talk to someone else. But he didn't. "You must really enjoy history then." "Why?" "Because it seems like that's all you narrate," he replied. "I'll admit I enjoyed studying history in school. I always aced those classes because it fascinated me to learn about how far we've come, and yet how much we're still the same as some of our ancestors." He took another pull of his beer. "You ever narrate anything on the Egyptians and the pyramids?" She had to think about that for a minute. I don't think... "Do you think they really built the pyramids themselves, or that aliens did it?" "What?" "Think about it. How could they move those massive blocks without modern tools, or tool belts?" He shook his head. "To do all that work in a loincloth? No, thank you." "I don't think..." "You'd look really good in the dresses the women wore back then. Togas, right?" "Yeah, he's clueless." A snarky response was on the tip of her tongue when someone came up beside her. "There you are!" Her best friend Bianca wrapped one arm around her and hugged Chelsea tight before smiling at Drew. "Don't you two look cozy over here?" "What are we talking about?" "How I would look good in the togas the Egyptians wore," Chelsea said, praying Bianca would get how that was a completely ridiculous statement. Bianca studied her. You probably would. They're very forgiving and would hide your hips." "Wait, what?" Chelsea cried. "Yeah, a toga would totally be your friend. I like to think I'd be like royalty and have a designer toga that would be more of a mermaid fit," Bianca went on. "Then I'd accessorize with a lot of jewels." She took a sip of her wine before adding, "I'd be totally hot as an Egyptian." "I'd probably be one of those gladiators," Drew chimed in, smug smile and everything. "Those were Roman soldiers," Chelsea murmured. "You ever narrate a book about gladiators?" he asked. With no other choice, she did the only thing she could. Chugged the remainder of her wine before announcing she saw someone she absolutely needed to talk to before quickly making her escape. Drew watched Chelsea walk away and felt mildly relieved. He was running out of things to talk about, although he would have loved to hear her theory on the whole Egyptians and alien thing. "You're good," Bianca said with a less than sincere smile. "Excuse me?" "Jimmy said you were the go-to guy to keep Chelsea distracted, and I didn't really give it much thought. But for the last several weeks, I always see the two of you together, so... bravo." She mock-clapped, and Drew had to force himself to smile. "I thought she was your best friend." "Oh, she is," she gushed. "But she really has no idea how to just relax and, not bore everyone to tears with her work stories. Ugh. If I wanted to talk about history, I would..." She paused. "What am I saying? Why would I want to talk about history? It's over, right?" He was about to bring up his theory about how history could be from just minutes ago, but immediately decided against it. That would mean talking to Bianca more than he wanted to. She was nice enough, but not much going on upstairs. How Jimmy could be so head over heels in love with this woman, he had no idea. All he did know was it was time to move on and find someone else to talk to. So he pulled a Chelsea. Yeah, he knew her signature move to get rid of him, and chugged the rest of his beer and excused himself. Clearly, Bianca didn't get the similarities because she just smiled and walked away. Thank God. Slowly, Drew made his way over to the bar and ordered another beer, in no rush to turn and join the group of friends he was here with, or to find anyone new to talk with. Elbows on the bar, he hung his head and let out a long breath. He was in a serious rut. It was like being stuck in the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray.